Sup, everybody? Hey, it's Monday. It's Mike and Wendy. Welcome to the Marriage Shop, almost December edition.
Yes, so it is almost December. Some of you are coming off of Thanksgiving celebrations with your families. We are back home and we are exhausted. But we said we'd be here, so we're here, and we are glad that you're here with us. So, Camilla and Christina, glad you guys jumped on early and glad you're here. Always good to see you and just good to be home.
Hit him with the ponytail real fast to the side.
Right, just
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we've been back. We've been back a grand total of 18 hours or so. Anybody know? So we fly into the Augusta airport. What we didn't know is that apparently like three people run the whole airport after midnight, apparently. So they do it all except for fly the plane. So we got in pretty late, but we have been everywhere. You get to run down where we've been.
Yeah, I mean, so if you've seen some of our posts lately, over the last several weeks, we've been on the road, and each week we've been updating you. But most recently, we were in Williamsburg for the weekend to remember, and we shared a little bit about that last Monday. If you were able to jump on, but after leaving Williamsburg, we spent some time with our family in Suffolk, Virginia, and so Mike's family is from Portsmouth, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and Suffolk, all in around that area. So it was really good to just be home. The girls flew in. We were all able to be together on Thanksgiving, which doesn't always happen, and we don't take it for granted. But before that, we were just kind of on the road. We were in Michigan, we were in Canada, we were in New York. Just kind of hitting the road and going all over. And we'll be hitting the road again probably tomorrow.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
just like that. So anyway, but it's good to be home. It's good to be back, even if it's just for a minute. And so, we were thinking about what we talk about tonight, and seems like whenever we talk about holidays, people don't really want to talk about holidays, but we can talk about family and friends and getting together or not getting together, and all the things that happen during this time of year
Mm.
specifically. So this is not a Christmas version or a holiday version of the Marriage Shop. It's just another version of the Marriage Shop.
Yeah, but it's a version that y'all better listen to because ultimately there are decisions that you have to make over the years. When you're young, it's pretty simple. Like when I met Wendy, it was all about, well, actually, you know what? It had gotten a little complicated even
Hmm.
then. But, when my parents were together, be quite honest about it, it was pretty easy, right? We knew what it was going to be for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and holiday celebrations, all those things, kind of one stop shop. Boom. And so, but then you get married, maybe, and you now have to decide, okay, do I celebrate with my family only? Do I celebrate with my now then extended family? Or do we do something combined? How do we decide to do that, right? And then if your parents, or if you have two actual existing families, if parents are living, grandparents, etc. Well, now how do you split that up? Where do you go with it and everything? And then if you have a blended family, it becomes even more complicated, maybe, right? So it becomes not so simple as, hey, I'm going to run back to mom's house and we're going to do the holidays.
Yeah.
It becomes a kind of a complicated thing. And so we're going to talk a little bit tonight about how we've kind of worked through some of deciding what to do and when to do it, because I think there's a time, when there's times for everything I mentioned, actually.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think, I mean, for us, it's been complicated, but it hasn't been extremely complicated because it's been simplified just because of events that have occurred in our life. And so, for some
Yeah.
of you and people that have shared with us, I mean, they really do kind of get anxious around this time of year because people's feelings get hurt, or somebody will lay a guilt trip on you because
Yeah.
you decided you weren't going to visit them this year. We came up with kind of a plan over the last several years where we were rotating. I don't know if we had like a set schedule, but it seemed like we were at least trying to do something every other year or figure it out so that we were getting time to spend time with everybody that we love.
Yeah, and so some of you all, and I think you're right. It's been simplified for us to some degree because we've been away from family distance wise.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that does simplify, but it caused us to really, figure out how we're going to do our thing and celebrate together. And me even celebrate with new friends and family that we met. But yeah, in terms of what to do on the holidays, it became a lot more of a process when we got closer in driving distance.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
more of a process.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, Nicolette.
And Nicolette she said Roll Tide.
Oh, y'all
Go Raiders.
Raiders.
What does it have to do with the Tide? I mean, listen.
Yeah, that was a good game. It was a good game.
You know what?
Admittedly.
I'm gonna be a stand-up guy tonight. I won't avoid talking about football because I have been crushed. I think it's my fault the Cowboys lost actually because I disrupted the universe by wearing that Raiders shirt. But I would do it again.
Yeah, I was by myself with a few sympathetic family members who said, we don't want you to be by yourself, so we will root for the Raiders with you. But yeah, it was a little contentious for a minute, I think.
Contentious? Would you say? I wouldn't say contentious. Part of the reason I wouldn't say contentious is because I think my folks would tell you I laid out a little bit of a caution, like, hey, y'all, it's gonna be fun, but I don't need y'all getting all in Wendy's face like that today. So everybody just have your fun, but ease up a little bit. Or something to that effect.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I mean, that was then. This is now. It's another week. And it's Monday, so it means there's some Monday Night Football. And hey, that Washington football team with Heineke is looking pretty good. Just saying. I know Russell Wilson is back with the Seahawks, but it should be a good game, I'm thinking. So, every Monday we kind of find ourselves, at least during this time of year, talking football, family, friends, and football and food. That's what the time of year is all about.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, in terms of it being simplified for us, you're right. We were away, but both of my parents are deceased.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, there is no struggle between whether or not we're spending time with my mother or yours,
mm-hmm.
per se, or my dad or yours.
Right.
Over the years, we just didn't have that kind of a conflict. But a lot of married couples do. And even as you are defining and creating your own traditions and what it's going to be for you, there's some challenges that some people say they face with that as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes we'll often just kind of make assumptions, even like, this is what it is because it's always been that way. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's a conversation that a lot of couples probably haven't even had.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think it's important to kind of talk about that. What is it that you want to create? And I think it's important to think about the pressure too that you put on yourself. I remember early on in our relationship, I thought when I went home, not only was it about going to see, wherever I'm going to spend holidays and meals and all that,
mm-hmm.
but I was like trying to make effort to go around and physically see everybody in the family, like every time.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yes,
I do.
That was a lot.
It is a lot, but I think that's based on how you were raised.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that's the way that you're raised, then that's kind of what you tend to do. Hey, Michelle Moore Wilson and Gerald Wilson, thanks for joining us.
What's up?
And so there's this expectation that you're going to kind of pick up the mantle and continue to do that. So whenever you come home, then there is that expectation that that's exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah. I often wondered as I thought about it, where did that expectation come from?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is it based on what was planted in me, or did I plant it there myself?
It's a good question.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is it, when you're coming home, I had to ask myself, is it feasible to go and visit everybody every time? And what was the point of that visit? And was I even getting that done? So it became, it was just a lot of pressure, I think to some degree self-imposed.
Yeah, well, pressure and associated guilt, right? And so if you didn't make it around to see everybody, or there was a question of, well, if we don't get to see them this time, then when will we get to see them?
Yeah.
A lot of that, I think, self-imposed, and then some of it was externally driven.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So for you guys, in terms of what the biggest challenges are for you around that, do you have challenges choosing where you go for the holidays or where dinner is going to be? Is it about going home or going back home, or is it about people coming to visit you? Just drop it in the comments. So we're curious so we can bring y'all on into the conversation.
yeah, that's an interesting question too. Like, do you bring them to visit you? We actually, when we moved here, 2016, right? When we asked everybody to come,
Oh, here. Yeah.
yeah, to
Yeah.
Georgia, we kind of opened up, and we thought, why not? See what happens. And a bunch of family members showed up here. But I thought about that though. For every family that came here, they had to make a decision to not be somewhere else.
Right.
And during the holidays, that becomes a really big thing. For every decision you make to be somewhere, you got to decide, you know what, not going to be that other place. And so I love how we've kind of worked it out for the most part with Wendy's sister, for example, because being here in Georgia, being in the same state, that hadn't happened for Wendy and Wanda since you joined the military, I don't think, in terms of being that in that close proximity to each other.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, and so it was important to try to work that out. And so I think we've done a pretty decent job. Even though here recently, I think we're due,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
of sharing that holiday time, and like I think we're alternating years and things like that. Um, and so because ultimately, and some of you, I know it. I talked to some of you this year, where you not only feel pressure to visit, but you feel you got to eat everywhere you go, and so you got to make 10 visits, and you got to eat at all of them.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah, that can be a bit much. And
Yeah,
but I will say this, we did get to visit with our niece Ashley.
yeah.
And Ashley and her husband are vegan. And so she hooked us up a jackfruit sandwich that tasted amazing. I mean, it was really, really good. I mean, we try to have an open mind around these things, but that was something, it was unexpected.
That was unexpected. And
Hmm.
so I don't know, I'm not sure where you all are on your dietary thing, but I hear jackfruit sandwich and I'm like, what? Fruit sandwich?
Yeah.
But wow. That's all I'll say. It was amazing. So and so Ashley in the last couple of years has really stepped up her game on this vegan thing.
Hmm.
Um, and so you talk vegan during Thanksgiving and holiday season, and people get emotional about that thing. But I mean, look, people, you gotta open yourself something new sometime. I mean, I think that there are a lot of folks who are like, forget you, click, not I'm
Not doing it.
I'm doing my stuffing and my dressing and my turkey and my hand, all that, and that's cool. But I think you might be surprised at some of the things that you can do with food. It's
Yeah,
pretty
well, I
remarkable.
mean, since I mentioned Ashley, it just made me think about how she is kind of leading the family in a way in terms of kind of breaking some traditions, right? And
Hmm.
some expectations around what we always do.
Hmm.
And I say breaking it, she's questioning it.
Hmm.
In a very intentional way. And
Hmm.
I think whenever somebody questions why we do what we do, it should cause you to pause for a second and reflect on that. Are we
Yeah.
eating, turkey and ham and chitlins and whatever else? Are we eating like 3 or 4 meats for Thanksgiving? And are we doing it because we always have, or are we doing it because we enjoy it? And do we give ourselves permission to indulge
Mhm.
because it's a holiday?
Yes. All that.
Hmm.
Because if you look at the spread, um, you mean how we eat
Hmm.
during this time of the year.
Hmm.
I mean, there's no other time you do that, but there's so much attached to it, and that's why this whole thing of even where you go and how you celebrate becomes so
Hmm.
important, because there's so much emotion attached to the sights, the sounds, the smells, the tastes of the holidays, and we're trying to recreate oftentimes that thing,
Yeah.
recapture and recreate that thing. Um, but how often do we sit down and talk about what we want to create new as a couple, or or how we might want to diverge, whether it be the menu? It's crazy to me how you can invite people to your house, but if you change the menu, people will lose their mind. Where's this? Where's that? And we're and everybody's judging. And if you say you don't judge the food, I don't believe you. Everybody does it, right? You're comparing your pie to their pie. You know, my dressing to your dressing, your fried turkey to my fried turkey, his ham to her ham, like your grandma's sweet potato pie to your, you know, all that stuff. We're just kind of constantly comparing, and we're trying to attain this thing, those roles versus these, all that, right?
Yeah.
So because why? There's something very familiar, and we want to recapture that every time.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
it was interesting though. You mentioned in 2016 we invited people here. We had friends, family. It was we had 52 people here
Mm-hmm.
at one time for dinner. And so we had it kind of went up and down based on the different days during that week. But there were over 50 people here for dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and we had people bring dishes, and
Yep.
I think we ended up with 3 turkeys.
Three,
We had three
three
turkeys.
turkeys.
that fed
People bringing
everybody, by the way.
extra turkeys. You know
But
who you are.
but we had 3 turkeys, and just different things. I think about being at work and having potluck or
Yeah.
whatever at work, and everybody brings their dish, and so we were even having some comical conversations about that this past week, just about, I mean, what is your favorite dish,
Mm-hmm.
and does that resonate with everybody, right? Because you
Yeah.
mentioned you're trying to recreate memories or capture something that maybe is tied to the food or a taste or a sound or a smell or just the people. But if you're joining another group, then you're the only one that has that memory,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can't necessarily evoke your memory or your experience with somebody who's never had it.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your favorite meal at Thanksgiving? I mean, we heard a lot of people talking about it, or Christmas. You could drop that in the comments too. Nicolette says we were in Alabama and his mom is an Auburn fan.
Ooh, this weekend must have been something.
It was the in-laws here
Wow.
for turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Next year they get Christmas and my family will get the turkey day. We have to rotate my dad and his wife in due to divorce. Yeah, we know that well. So 3 separate families. Easter, spring break are used so that no one feels overlooked. So y'all put in a whole lot of work. Sounds like a whole lot of planning to make it happen.
Yeah.
Andrea says, and all were consumed. And Casey said, Negroes and affiliates.
Hilarious.
Yes.
So yeah. So listen, that was yeah. When the family splits up, like say with divorce, it kind of adds an extra element. Interestingly for us, it's kind of worked out in some weird ways where we went to my cousin's house, JJ down in Tampa one year to eat there with you know some of my cousins and whatnot. And my dad and his wife dad and Sarah happened to be in Tampa at her son's house. So we made it our way over there as well.
Yep.
So that was actually kind of a cool thing, you know.
And it's always cool to go visit where somebody else is doing all of the cooking, and more importantly, all the cleaning. So you can just drop in, eat, spend a little time, and then roll.
Grab you some foil.
Those are the best ones.
And be on out.
Take it with you.
Go early.
Oh, thanks, Nicolette. She says, Kevin, dressing in greens, Nicolette, turkey. Yeah, you know, I enjoy a really good turkey. And let me tell y'all, my sister-in-law loves me. So I have 2 and they both love me. But we only got to spend Thanksgiving with one of them. So, you know, I'm hoping that next year we're going to be all together again. But Lisa, in this case, made the extra effort to prepare my own I had like these little pans of food that were just for me because of some dietary restrictions. And I mean, that was like going the extra mile. That was really sweet. That meant a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah. So Anna Reeves, hey. So she says, so as you're talking, I was thinking I am doing it for me, not for him. LOL. That's funny. And no leftovers. Huh.
Well, that's the thing when you go and you dip in and you get the carry out, and so it's funny too because after you eat, you know what, that actually gives me an idea.
What?
Like if I visit somewhere, I'm gonna make my takeout the plates first, then I'm gonna go eat. Because after you eat, you're like, man, I'm full. I don't think I want, and so you tend to hold back, and you may get a little small plate if you're gonna take something with you. But
that's funny.
If pack it when you're hungry. That's what I say.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Casey, for. I mean, I thought you were commenting on who
I thought
showed
he
up
was
for
something.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, me too.
No,
He was
that was your
okay.
intro.
You're hilarious. This
That's
guy.
hilarious. So there was another comment from Anna Reeves, and oh, Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. She says, "Oh, so her husband is vegan.
Hmm.
Oh, and her son is vegetarian. That's cool. And I'm constantly trying to give him a traditional Mexican.
Hmm.
Oh, and didn't grow up celebrating Thanksgiving because that is not a thing in Mexico.
Hmm.
Oh, so thank you for bringing culture into it,
Yeah,
because that does change it up a little bit, right?
it does.
And this is not related, but it's sort of related in a way. So for years, I mean, our oldest daughter, Sydney, her birthday is December 10th. And for years, many, many years, I would always say, I'm not going to decorate. I'm not going to do any Christmas decorating in the house until after her birthday on December 10th. I mean, and for a year, it was like I committed to that. We
Yeah.
weren't going to do it. And
And
then what?
no, I was like, "Phew, maybe I get that
Put
get
the
that
tree up.
tree
It's
up."
gonna be too late. We get
Yeah.
cheated out of some time. And then one year she was like, "Why are you doing that? I didn't ask for that. There's no need to do that." So just saying, sometimes we're doing things either for ourselves or in consideration, in adjustment of the other person.
Hmm.
And it comes back to what you said: have a conversation about it so we know.
Yeah, and on that adjustment thing,
Hmm.
everything we said earlier, I think is really important. Like what the holidays mean for people,
Yeah.
right? Some people I mean, they're really serious about this thing. And if your spouse is somebody who really, 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 really gets into the holidays, you need to really, really, really get into the holidays and understand that this thing is down deep, right? It's down deep at a heart, at a gut level, right? I need
Mm.
this. I needed to
Mm-mm-mm.
smell this way. I need to be this way.
Mm-mm-mm.
And that becomes important when you're talking about where are we going to go. And so, because sometimes, as Nicolette said, like every decision you make to go somewhere, you got to make a decision not to go somewhere. And so you need to not only set each other up for success with that and
Mhm.
set the expectation about how you're going to work it out, but the rest of your family needs to know too, because they want to create that experience as well. And they want to see you a lot of times. And so sometimes when you got to make a different move. And so, like I said, after my parents divorced, so now it was go home, go to one place. Then it was go home, maybe go to two places.
Mhm.
Then all of a sudden it got a little more complicated.
Yep.
And then my sisters, right? My sisters, one is near Baltimore, other one's in Virginia. So we were in Maryland. So we started maybe going hanging out at Andrea's,
Mhm.
perhaps, right?
Yeah.
And then last year, no, year before, sometime we went to Andrea's. We were up there for Thanksgiving
Yep.
just a few years ago. And so your siblings, they branch out. Then all of a sudden, Ashley,
Mhm.
Lisa's older child, she gets a home and she wants to do her thing. So but then there's still everyone else that was there before,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so it can be a little bit complicated, and so it's important to communicate with your family. Now, I'm a big advocate of not letting your family meddle in your marriage and all that stuff. However, they are still your family, right? And so it's okay to talk about how you're going to do the holidays so that you can settle them down, and so they can expect to see you. They'll know when they can expect to see you. And in fact, maybe you can create some new things and invite them over and into some things that you do that may not be the traditional thing that you do.
Yeah, but the
Right?
truth is, some people are going to be in their feelings no matter what you do, how much you
True.
try to accommodate. Did you come to their house first, or did you come to their house late? Did you, why didn't they get the first visit or the first call when you came to town? Those types of things
Mhm.
sometimes can't be avoided, but
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, the two of you need to be in agreement about what it is that you would like to experience and feel and remember about the holidays, so that you're not setting yourselves up to be for there to be conflict, because
Yeah.
inevitably there the holidays in and of itself really kind of prime us to get into some conflict over something, whether
Mhm.
it's where we go or what we eat or what the kids do or who's invited.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say something that some of you all may fall out of your chair. So prepare yourselves. There have been Thanksgiving holidays in particular where we've not gone anywhere. or not visited anyone, or we went to New York one time, went to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, and
Hmm.
we kind of did Thanksgiving there. We did we were in Orlando
My
one
sister
year.
was there.
Oh yeah, your sister was there. She was there. Okay, there you have it. Went to Orlando one time. Was she there too?
Nope.
Okay. Yep. Went to Orlando. Did Thanksgiving there once.
Hmm.
Um, it's okay to create your own thing. Actually.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's important that you give at least give yourselves permission and the freedom to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe sometimes you set well. I know for sure you're setting the expectations for
Mhm.
the rest of your family when you make that determination, either when you move out from home or when you get married or when you're dating, when you kind of say, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing. So the earlier you do it, the better. The earlier you decide and the earlier the notification, probably the better. But at the end of the day, like I said, there's some people that are just going to be in their feelings no matter what you do.
It's 100% true. And what you can't do is take somebody out of their feelings because they put themselves there. So, and that's the thing where you just have to kind of decide, what's most important between you and your spouse, because people, there will be pressure. If it hadn't come for you, it probably will, where there are expectations placed on you. And ultimately, you have to be in agreement. If you're not in agreement with each other, and you kind of acquiesce to something out external to
Hmm.
you, it's going to create some problems. I
Yeah,
think.
I mean, and hey, there is life after the holidays. So this is just a temporary, I mean, it's a season, right? It's a
Yeah.
temporary time of year. We're talking about 1 day or 2 days out of the year. Some people do a real big dinner on New Year's Eve as well, but and then birthdays. But I mean, we're talking about singular digit days throughout the year. The rest of the time, it's the two of you with each other, and you're also establishing what it's going to be for your children. I don't know how many of you invited your children's friends or their boyfriends or girlfriends to your house for Thanksgiving dinner, but is that reserved for the serious relationships or is it
Oh,
open to everyone?
don't bring random person to the house eating up my food. Nah, dude, who are
Mm-mm-mm.
you?
That's funny. Nicolette says, because we don't live close to family, the holidays are the best time for our kids to hang out and get to know their extended family. And that's so true. I mean,
Mhm.
our kids are really close to their cousins because we've made an effort to do that. So
Yeah,
you're spot on with that.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I think that's actually compelled us sometimes to push even a little harder. Kind of letting them, connect with the cousins, and maybe my own, because I have memories, right? We have memories of connecting with our family back in
Hmm.
the day,
Hmm.
and so we know what that's meant. And so yeah, we try to make an effort to kind of give them some experiences. But Wendy's right, like you know, if you don't get there on a holiday, what about the spring? What about the summer? Making sure that you're continuing to cultivate relationships with your family and connecting your kids and connecting your people, right, from all these different I don't know, all these aspects of your life that you create over time, because over time your family grows, your sphere of your relationships and connections, they grow,
Yeah.
and with people that you care about and people that care about you. And so definitely don't want to send a message that it's not important to cultivate relationships. But as you all might expect, there's one relationship I believe you must cultivate before all others, or well, two, right? Two, your relationship with God and your relationship with each other, right? And so if you do those first, you don't have to worry about anything else much.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and so yeah, we're talking about it because we're just off of Thanksgiving, and many of you are gearing up for Christmas. But in general, it is about where is your focus? Where is most of your effort going? And at the end of the day, what are your most important relationships? What is the priority? We come on here every week and we talk about God's plan for marriage, and we talk about the importance of having something that is bigger than yourselves, right? A bigger influence, a bigger impact. When I say bigger impact, a bigger focus. Because if you're only focused on each other and you're relying on each other to get it right all the time, then you're going to have some challenges in your marriage. We know that getting through a marriage that is, or in creating a marriage that is healthy, happy, and whole, is bigger than just two people.
Absolutely. And so I was just talking to somebody about this today in terms of what that village looks like, and how I think that village has been so helpful to us. Kind of our family, our blood family, our church family community. Because at certain parts of your life, you just you need people there that help you and feed you in certain ways, support you in certain ways, in certain parts of your life. And so, times of the year like this, it's just a good time to connect and just celebrate those relationships.
Yeah.
Right. But celebrate them. Don't let them drive you crazy. Right. And hey, and if your pie is better than grandma's pie, it's just what it is, y'all. I'm just saying.
And don't get in your feelings if somebody doesn't ask for your favorite dish, right? Or that thing that you think that you are just killing it every year, and then they don't ask you to make it. Don't take it personally.
Take that break. You know what I mean? Go eat their food. Take a break. So, but yeah, it's that's so funny when people are very sensitive about their thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I know you tried this one, but wait till you try mine.
Yeah, or who, judging other people's whatever it is, right? I mean, if you just make an amazing green bean casserole like Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott.
That was so
You know
funny.
what, Dak Prescott? That's what happened. That's what happened, man, during the game.
Oh my goodness.
Green bean casserole, really? This is your favorite dish?
His favorite dish. You make an amazing green bean casserole when you get there, and there are like three other ones. It's like,
Dak Prescott. Dakota Prescott, for real.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Green bean casserole.
So Nicholas, there's three words: pumpkin maple cheesecake.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see about that.
We'll have to try it one time.
Yeah. I made a sweet potato cheesecake. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that was pretty.
You can bake. And the pies that you made this year were really good.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. They always are.
Right. It's crazy, right? And it's like you can make it any time, but it's just, nah. So thank you. You had to piece it together. I was on the road.
Yeah, you were on the road, but you did a good job.
I thank you.
And they were delicious.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, so we're not going to drag this thing out, guys. We're tired. We know that you guys are busy, but we appreciate so much that you dropped in just for a few minutes in the marriage shop. And I don't know if we're going to be here next Monday or not. I know that we're headed out of town again, but we will let you know. So look out for those posts, and we'll try to share pictures and updates as soon as we have them.
Yep. Hey, what she said. So before we roll, we're gonna pray with you real fast. But if there are things that you want to talk about, because there are certain things that are beginning to emerge, a few different, I don't know, call them trends, a few things that we're seeing that are beginning to pop up. Let us know if there's certain things that you want to talk about, and we'll bring it into the conversation.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm not sure. Does Andrea have her hand up, or is she waving?
I think Andrea. If she has her hand up, I don't know what to do.
You have the floor.
If you want to come on to talk, Andrea, let me know. Send us a sign. But I think you're waving. So, yeah. So, and by the way, our outro tonight is be a little bit different because as you see, we're not in our normal studio space.
Nope.
So, we'll close it out a little different tonight. But with what it is. That's funny. In case it's just with JC, of course, and Lifetime. But we'll close it out there.
We don't know if she's asking.
KC, call Andrea and ask her if she's asking a question. Until then, let's pray, y'all. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day. We just thank you for everyone watching, listening. We just ask that you continue to bless their homes, bless their families, bless their relationships. Help us all to live a life and to have marriages that just exemplify your goodness and your grace toward us as we show it to each other. So we thank you. We love you. We pray these and all other blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, y'all. We will see you soon. Um, Hit us up on DM or something. Tell us what you want to talk about. All right. It's my man JC. I'll take it easy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's your boy JC. I'm in the mood, love, yeah. Lately I've been constantly thinking about you, babe. You drive me crazy, yeah. And girl, I want this. Got me all up in my feelings. Over the feeling, yeah. I knew the first time I laid eyes on you that you would be here forever. I'm not being arrogant, and I still can't take my eyes off you. 'Cause you made me better, so much better. I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime. I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime, baby. I love your kindness, I love your confidence. Ooh, you're the finest. So glad you're mine, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't wanna be with nobody else. Give me your love, that's all the wealth I need. Baby, you're priceless to me, yeah. To love you for a lifetime. I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime, yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa. Promise I'ma be around, I'ma always hold you down. Won't you come and hold me now? Won't you come and hold me now? I just got a new coupe, yeah, I know I got a roof, but I always keep it down with you, yeah. And I know they see it. Girl, you're my queen, and beauty speaks for itself loud and clear, yeah. So throw it in the air. It's the sweetest sound to follow my ear. And I want the world to know I'll love you forever. And that's a long time, babe. But I got time for you, babe.